Okay, so like I said, I'm from a small town in rural New York, and yes, there is a rural New York, and actually most of the state is rural. We keep all the crazy people down south. And where I'm from, there are more critters in the woods than people actually hanging around. There's definitely more cows than people from the town that I'm from. And here's a picture of the coffee klatch because, in a small town, there's really nothing much to do but attend church and high school sporting events and gossip. And there they all are. Uh, and, they do talk about the weather a little bit too, but mostly it's about you, your whole family history, and especially all the embarrassing parts. So that's why I read, to escape. I wanted to escape so much that I started early. I could read by 4 years old. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. But when I got to school, I landed in special reading class because my older brother couldn't read. Seriously, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, but I always kept a book under the table. See, I'm reading Tolstoy. There we go. As a reward, and whoops, I missed one. In third grade, I took the California Achievement Test and scored above a 12th grade reading level. Thank God. Or the Department of Education for standardized tests. My teachers congratulated themselves on such a great job that they had cured dyslexia. As a reward, and since Mrs. Miner, the librarian, knew I had to read most of the books in the elementary library, I was allowed to get books out of the high school library as long as they were from the college-bound reading list. And seriously, she wasn't evil. Okay. Yep, I've read the classics. I burned through that list so fast that by 7th grade I was reading other stuff. How? Well, for one, I hid in my closet from my mom and from my chores. Yes, I was closeted. Reading was a habit and addiction. Never without a book. I read at every opportunity in any venue available. But this was my favorite, reading with my horse Dixie. That was nirvana. But where there's a will, there's a way. Books are relatively small. You can fit them everywhere. And you also can't hear when you're reading. You get so absorbed that you forget to do your chores. But, you can find a way around that. Like I said, I always had a book with me, and I could always find a place to hide it. And the cow really liked to listen to what I had to say. Yep, and that's what I looked like most of the time, reading. You have to be creative. You have to know where you can put things. But things take a little bit longer. You certainly wouldn't want to see my house. And that's what I look like most of the time. Until 7th grade to when I graduated college, I always had my nose in a book. Because that's what I look like without the book. I had Coke bottle glasses. I had braces with full headgear for 4 whole years. I had acne until I was 24. Yeah, that book was armor. Because as you can guess, I wasn't very popular. I was a grade-grubbing know-it-all. By this time, I was past Russian literature and was reading history text and science. I could correct all my social studies teachers. I was learning so much I wanted to discuss it, so I decided that since there wasn't a book club in town, I needed to go to Bible study because that was the only place that they would talk about some kind of book. But really, they don't really talk about the book in Bible study. They pray a lot and they talk about being a good person, which is a good thing, but not what I was looking for. But that's okay. No worries. My pastor and my pastor's wife, who was the town librarian, knew how to put me to work. They sent me out to read to shut-ins, and I brought Meals on Wheels while I was there. Does anybody know where that quote came from? Then I decided it was time to go to college, because that's where I could really learn and discuss books with people. I could discuss ideas. I craved a discourse on books. I wanted to learn about subjects, but I took art. Yep, I majored in art. You didn't see that one coming, did you? I know, with the drawings, you totally didn't see that one coming. That was the surprise. But I passed on my reading addiction as I grew older to my son. I read to him so much when he was a baby. He learned to read early as well. And now I know it's worked. I now feel my parents' frustration. My son is never without a book. I even get complaints from teachers that he reads too much. And yes, reading really can cause temporary deafness.